This is a Mazda Miata, a bit of a misunderstood car. And in the 7 years I own this car, here are some of the nice things that people said to me. Cute car. Is this your girlfriend's? Are you gay? I'm looking for a nice girly car for my daughter. Are you selling this? And to show people that owning a Miata isn't just about hair appointments or taking verbal abuse, I'm going to drive this car to one of the most famous racetracks in North America for a very special event. And to get there, I'm going to take what I think is one of the best driving roads, Pacific Coast Highway, to get there. So let's roll.
So, where am I going? I'm heading to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca in Salinas, California, to take part in the Miatas at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca event. This is an annual gathering where people from all over the world drive Miatas around this racetrack. What I want to do is to not only drive my car around this epic track, but to find out what this car is all about, and to see if other owners share the same love I do for this car. This road trip will be roughly 4,000 kilometers, round trip, plus 1 weekend of hard driving at the Laguna Seca track, revving its engine to its 7,000 RPM redline, continuously. Which, for my car, sitting close to 240,000 kilometers will be kind of like asking Bruce Jenner to run a triathlon 10 times. This will not only be a test of the car's driving dynamics on both road and track, but a test of its durability and reliability. In short, if there is an incident in California, it will be very expensive to get home. So, what could possibly go wrong? It's a very simple recipe, really. This car doesn't bother with frivolous extras like rear seats or space. And because of this, the car is light. And because it's light, it feels fast and corners well. The Miata has a 50-50 weight distribution, which means that the car feels really balanced. It has a longitudinal truss which directly connects the engine with the differential, which means when you drive it, the car responds to inputs that much better. Its wheels are driven from the rear, which means it's fun. So, despite its lack of horsepower and girly image, this car is the world's best-selling sports car. And no, not to just females. The Miata has won a few awards in its time too. Wheels Magazine's Car of the Year for 1989 and 2005, Sports Car International's Best Sports Car of the 1990s, and 10 Best Sports Cars of All Time, 2005 and 2006 winner of the Car of the Year Japan, 2005 Australian Car of the Year, Car and Driver Magazine's annual 10 Best list, 14 times. Grassroots Motorsports Magazine named the Miata as the most important sports car built during the previous 25 years. And if that wasn't enough to convince you of the Miata's dynamic prowess, there's also a dedicated race series for Miatas. So how does it perform on the road? On the roads of the Pacific Coastal Highway, the Miata was absolutely perfect. Its small and compact dimensions meant the car felt like an extension of yourself. Its lack of weight meant your inputs were reacted upon instantly. And the naturally aspirated characteristics of this engine revved wonderfully. In short, it was utterly brilliant.
So after driving almost 2,000 kilometers, we finally made it here to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. We're here to check out some of the cars here today, talk to some of the people behind the cars, and also check out some of the action in the track. So let's go check it out.
Miatas at Mazda Raceway is a 2-day event, with most of the action circled around what is essentially 2 track days at the world-renowned Laguna Seca circuit. During lunch breaks, there are parade laps where every single Miata in the area does some slow laps around the track.
This is just seriously so cool. Just not even going at full speed, but like just being on here with all these other Miatas at the same time, such a cool experience. Where else do you get this sort of community, you know? Nobody's going fast. But that's not the point of this. This is a family called the Miata.
This is Tom Matano. He was responsible for the design of the first and second generation Miatas. Tom has now moved on from Mazda, but he takes the time to attend every Miata event he can and personally owns one. Here are some thoughts that he has on the car we've come to see.
Well, yeah, as a team, we always talk about cars we want. What's available is like 10-year-old designs like Alfa Romeo and the Fiat. We always had all of us had experience with the small two-seaters, either the MGs. My case was a Fiat 850 Spider. So we always wanted to have a little Spider sports car. So it's almost, I couldn't call it an inspiration, just we wanted it. Well, you know, was the first project I worked on when I joined Mazda, so it's most memorable. And the one thing is made my life totally different. I still have to own the one car for the rest of my life, no matter how many other cars I may have. Oh yeah. Part of it is like here, you know, you see people enjoying it, and that's the best part of it. And most of the designers worked on some cars never can say like 25 years of seeing people driving it and still going. Well, everybody should have a little fun, and this is not a gas guzzler. And 10 minutes on the road, you know, makes you feel good. That would apply today too. We call it a jogging shoes. You know, all those high-end sports cars are spiked sports shoes, you know, the specific shoes, right? So this one is a jogging shoe. Just put it on, go for a ride, and you have a good feeling out of it. Just thank you for enjoying it.
Laguna Seca is a world-famous course for a reason. It is a FIA-approved racetrack. It is 3.6 kilometers in length, has 11 turns, and perhaps more tellingly, it goes through 180 feet of elevation change in just one lap. The track looks wide, but that just means everybody runs faster, and there are some tricky corners that can catch you off guard. There is a runoff sections in most of the corners, but some sections have really deep gravel that will eat a Miata whole, and there are concrete barriers in relative close proximity. In short, it is a course you have to treat with respect. So I've done the manly thing here and asked for some help. This is Jeff Lyon, my driving instructor for the day. By day, Jeff is a hardware engineer designing server platforms for companies such as IBM. By night, or weekends, Jeff races a spec Miata, the One Make Race series, and is a head instructor at Trackmasters, who have been brought in here on this day to offer instruction and ensure that everyone is driving in a safe manner. Like many people, he doesn't find my jokes particularly funny. Jeff starts things off by taking me around the track first, showing me a few things to watch out for at Laguna. For example, not double apexing the hairpin at turn 2, Andretti hairpin, watching out for the little bump at turn 6, how to sight the orange flag to guide me through the steep drop back the corkscrew, and how to take the line at turn 9, rainy curve, to set me up for the sharp right-hander at turn 10. It's a lot to take in, but I'm enjoying the ride in this spec Miata. Okay, now it's my turn. If you're unfamiliar with track days, everyone gets classed into groups varying in skill and speed. Each group takes turns going in roughly 20-minute run sessions. I take the first run pretty cautiously, trying to remember at least 3 things that Jeff told me. I maybe remember one of them. Turn in now, I think it was. Second run, I'm starting to feel more comfortable. I'm getting the line better. Jeff is doing less yelling, a good sign I think, or he's just completely given up. I feel one with the car. Coming out of Andretti hairpin on this particular lap, I run a bit wide. Car's a little less stable as a result going to turn 3 when this happens. So what happened exactly? As I entered into turn 3, my car was still a bit unstable from misjudging the corner before that. As I entered into the turn, I was accelerating out, way to the outside and rear of the car. Near the end of the corner, I realized that I was running wide of the edge of the track and instinctively lifted off the gas while trying to steer more aggressively back towards the track. This action caused the weight of the car to shift forward, and combined with my aggressive turning back onto the track, caused the car to spin. If you have never spun your car before on a track day, I can tell you that the first time you do it, it is completely terrifying. Everything slows down, you feel your heart beating, everything goes silent. I was lucky that nobody hit me from behind. Am I alive? Is the car alive? How am I going to get home? Luckily, the damage sustained in my car was pretty minimal. Some minor bumper damage and a knocked out taillight. My mind, however, was another story. I tried to finish the rest of my run, but I was incapable of driving. I was taking corners so cautiously that people were lined up behind me and I became too focused on the mirror. My driving, which had been gaining confidence, was now all over the place, and I was thankful when the run was over. Needless to say, the third run was a very tentative one, but I came back afterwards having gained a bit of my confidence back. Fourth run, Jeff decides to sign me off to run on my own, and to comfort myself, I talk and babble in the car to myself like a complete idiot. However, this annoying habit means I slowly and finally start to feel my groove coming back again. Things are starting to make sense. My grip on the steering wheel loosens. I still fear turn 3 from the spin. Turn 6 is scary because the dip right at the apex unsettles my car every time I drive over it. And turn 9 is intimidating because it looks so wide, but the sharp right turn at 10 means that you could misjudge the corner easily if you got careless. Fifth run and the last one of the day, I'm feeling more confident, comfortable even. I am warned that the Northern California climate can cause the track temperatures to vary and to take it easy on the last run, which, combined with everyone's growing confidence, can be a bad mix. Is this foreshadowing of another incident? No, thankfully, I complete the last run in one piece.
Woo! Wow.
So what have I learned about the Miata that I didn't know already? Despite its small dimensions and my doubts about the car carrying any more than 2 adults and a loaf of bread, my Miata was a fantastic companion for this road trip. Yes, there was no AC. Yes, the window was broken. And yes, you couldn't hear any music. But for those downsides, you had a car that absolutely came alive on these epic roads of the PCH. No, you will never get respect from that guy driving the M3, but when you're having this much fun, who cares? Laguna Seca is a legendary track, and now I know why. It has a real presence to it, something you feel the minute you drive onto it. This place gives you goosebumps. And no, not just because of the corkscrew. The elevation changes and complex corners really make this track feel special and intimidating all at the same time. However, once you get the rhythm, this track is simply addicting. Despite having almost destroyed my only form of transport to it, I can't wait to drive on it again. This community that Tom Matano talks about is real. Who would have thought that almost a quarter of a century ago, a simple idea would turn not only into an iconic car, but create a community as special as this? Not even Tom saw this coming. And for current design director Derek Jenkins, that is a lot of pressure to ensure that the upcoming 4th generation, the ND Miata, is just right. And after speaking with him about the Miata, I have full confidence that he will not disappoint. I can't wait to see the new car. This Miata community is brought together by the wonderful people that organize this yearly event, the Miatas at Mazda Raceway, and to those people, I salute you. Thanks to you, people from all over the world come together to celebrate the wonderful car that is the Miata. And that's when you realize it's not just the car that is special, but it's the people that bring it all together. In this event, you meet complete strangers and instantly there is a connection, like you are family. If you have a Miata, make an effort to attend this event. Even if you don't intend to participate in the lapping sessions, the trip to this epic place with this epic group of people and cars will be well worth the trip. And regardless of what generation of Miata you drive, whether it be the NA, NB, NC, or the future ND, you will and forever will be part of this family.